want it to be over. I'm getting married. You know, I'm settling down.
This isn't something you get to walk away from, Frank.
Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Summer's Child and today we're watching the movie Catch Me If You Can. Frank Abagali Sr. was a hard-working man with a loving family, winning awards and living life. But falling on some hard times, he used his charms and a little bit of con work to get a driver to his nice car, displaying the illusion of strength to get the bank to give him a loan and exposing his son to this kind of work.
I'm sorry, we don't loan suits and we're not open.
Is this yours? Must have slipped right off your neck.
Due to some financial troubles, the family had to sell the house, the car, and move their son Frank Jr., played by Leonardo DiCaprio, into a public school. Because the students there thought it was funny to bully the new guy, he pretended to be the sub-teacher, lecturing the class, giving out homework, and planning a field trip. And even after he was caught, he still has the audacity to give other students advice on how to con people better.
I have a note to miss 5th and 6th period today. Doctor's appointment.
Fold it. If it's real, where's the crease?
To add insult to injury, Frank's mom cheated on his dad and they're getting a divorce. It was all too much for Frank, so he ran away, took the train, and stayed in a hotel until his money ran out. So he resorted to the same tricks he watched his father resort to in a pinch.
You know what I found on the sidewalk out there? Must have slipped right off your neck.
Is there something I can help you with, son?
Homeless and penniless, the 16-year-old clever young man had to be more resourceful in order to support himself. So when he caught a glimpse of a pilot and some flight attendants arriving at a hotel and being treated like celebrities, it clicked for him and now he's on the move to learn as much as possible about the life of a pilot.
You're the young man who's writing the article for the school paper.
Yes, ma'am, that's me. I want to know everything there is to know about being a pilot.
He secured himself a pilot suit by cunning his way around, and now our main man is on a mission to compensate his dad for everything that was taken from him, learning more and getting emboldened every time he cons a bank and comes out on top. Armed with charm, he went into another bank, flirting his way into more detailed information that would help him acquire more money illegally. But his scams went too far, and the FBI, led by Agent Carl Henretti, played by Tom Hanks, are on his case. Following his bogus checks like breadcrumbs, they finally caught up to him in a motel. But when nervous Agent Henretti cornered him in the bathroom...
Hands on your head.
Drop it! Relax! You're late.
Let me see some credentials.
Take my whole wallet.
After his encounter with law enforcement, his story was printed in the newspapers, and they called him James Bond, igniting his fertile imagination to impersonate the famous fictional agent, with his fancy suits, foreign cars, and wild life riding the wave of success. Until Christmas rolled around the corner and he found himself lonely, so he called the only person he shared a faint connection with.
Mrs. Hanratty, Merry Christmas.
Hello, Carl.
You have no one else to call.
Carl has been racking his brains thinking about every word he heard on that telephone call until he reached Frank's mom. By checking his yearbook photo, he finally got him after he had cashed millions in fraudulent checks. Luckily for Frank, he decided to change careers and become a fraud doctor instead of a fake pilot. In a weird way, there is one thing to be admired about Frank, and that is how studious and determined, focused and self-assured he actually is.
30 milligrams of codeine every 4 hours. What do you estimate the degree and extent of the burn skill there?
Carl found Frank's father and got his hand on their correspondence, securing a recent address of Frank's. So he mobilized the force, trying to catch the 17-year-old doctor, who apparently passed the bar exam to become a lawyer, all for the sake of a young girl who had troubles with her parents. He's only a child who lost his way when the IRS went down hard on his daddy, so his mommy split to have a better life. Their baby decided there is no red line and all bets are off in the face of achieving his goal, stealing back what was stolen from them, dreaming of reuniting his parents one day.
Listen, I'm getting a brand new Cadillac. I'm getting a $60,000 house. I'm I'm getting it all back.
My mother's married now to my friend Jack Barnes. They have a house in Long Island.
I'm gonna stop now.
His goal was never to deceive that young girl he asked her hand in marriage, but to fix a broken family like he's trying to do with his own. So after a little conversation with his dad and finding out that that's nearly impossible, he paid Carl an expected Christmas phone call, which led to the FBI crashing his wedding, forcing him to flee.
Brenda, I don't want to lie to you anymore. All right? I'm not a doctor. I never went to medical school.
Why would you lie to me?
Brenda.
I want to know your name.
With Frank, the con will never stop until he's caught, and caught he won't be. Going back to his old habits of impersonating a pilot, he recruited 8 young gorgeous ladies to accompany him and fly away completely unnoticed. He left the States and continued his dangerous game in Europe, printing more checks. And even though Carl was told to drop the case after failing so many times, he kept working it until he figured out where Frank might be on their 3rd Christmas Eve together.
Merry Christmas! You're under arrest.
Finally, Frank was in the custody of the FBI, being brought back home on a plane when Carl made an incredible mistake of telling him his daddy was gone, enticing the young man to escape once more. So he head to his mother's new husband's house to meet his little sister for the first time and lose all hope of anything.
The car. Get me in the car, please. Get me in the car.
Frank was sentenced for 12 years in maximum prison, visited only by Carl, who thought his talents were a waste there. So he secured him a job as a consultant for the FBI, where he would have to serve until the end of his sentence.
Would you be interested in working with the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit?
Under whose custody?
But one day, Frank's hope was regained in the midst of the tedious FBI job, manifesting in the window of a Halloween costume store. And Frank's wheels started to turn once more, thinking of a clean getaway.
I'm gonna let you fly tonight, Frank, because I know you'll be back on Monday.
How do you know I'll come back?
Nobody's chasing you.
What an amazing movie of a young boy searching for a dad after his own has sunk beyond recover. The 2 leads gave beautiful performances, and it shows. I almost teared up watching the end, and I never cry at movies. So thank you for watching, hit that like button, and I'm gonna see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.
Mind if I take a look?